Hi, Dr. Henry. We just looked at New York, and they are now requiring people to be vaccinated to go to restaurants and or proof of vaccinations, I should say, in restaurants and gyms. Is this something we should do in BC when you look at the numbers surging?
Yeah, so there's a number of different things that we have in our communities, as you know, and we do recommend that people take precautions, and that particularly if you're not immunized, those settings are more dangerous. But we're not at this point going to be requiring people. There are some businesses, there's some groups that are making requirements that I think are perfectly valid for their own situations, where they have required that only people who are immunized are allowed to attend. We've talked about not having vaccine passports for things like access to public services, but there are some things that are not essential services where it is important that only immunized people get together, especially if it's in a situation where we have more of the virus transmitted, and in settings like indoor crowded settings.
Susan, did you have a follow-up?
I do, thank you. Which leads me, Dr. Henry, to, of course, the school year. It's fast approaching September. A lot of them under 12, of course, and most of them have not had a vaccine. I know you established plans earlier. In light of all this, are we going to be changing? Do you have plans to change your plans for the school year?
Yeah, and currently we don't. And obviously we're continuing to work with our provincial committee on what are the things that we need to have in place to make the school year as normal as possible for children. We know how challenging this past couple of years was, school year was, particularly how important it was for school families and the school community for children to have in-school learnings. And we are committed to that again this year. We want to make sure that as many of those who are eligible to be immunized, particularly teachers and school staff and older students, are immunized. That is really important in the school setting. But we also know that the school setting is not a high-risk environment for transmission of COVID. And what we see in the schools reflects what's going on in the community. That's why it's so important for all of us to be immunized, everybody who's eligible. And as I mentioned, tomorrow is our walk-in Wednesday around the province. Now is the time where people who have just not been able to, have had challenges booking appointments or have questions, can go into clinics across the province and get your vaccine, get your questions answered. Step up for yourself to protect yourself, but also to protect those around you.